This week on Templar's Tabletop, I'm going to show you a simple way to make an app for the game of your choice. Let's get started. Welcome back to Templar's Tabletop, the channel where we focus on making your games AAA. Affordable, approachable, and awesome. The content of this week is focused on that approachable, using things like an app to speed up your play so you can focus on the fun. So if you enjoy any of the content that you see in this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and give me the deed to your house. Maybe not that last one, let's jump into the video. So, I made an app. Am I a coder? No, but let's talk about a simple way that you might be able to make an app for your own purposes. So we'll be covering what was the idea for the app? What is the app itself? How did I make it? Was there any drama involved? I did venture into Reddit, and so yes, for short answer, there was some drama, but we'll get to that in just a little bit, and then my conclusion and my final thoughts on this. Let's go ahead and get started on what is the inspiration. So, as I was playing, if you've seen me play on this channel before, I like doing a little bit of solo role-playing, and there is a really cool app that was called Adventuresmith. I'll try to show it here on the camera, but basically this is a random prompt generator. And so as you're playing, you can come up with NPCs, different characters, and I tried to install it on a new device and it wouldn't let me install it. It said that the device was outdated or something to that effect. And long story short, I was wondering, man, am I gonna lose access to this app? And that kind of got me thinking, am I going to be bound to the whims of apps or technology depreciating, or is there a way that I could try to replicate this myself? Like I said, I've never done any coding, but I was thinking, is there a way that I could make a similar app just because I've so enjoyed using this, but if I wasn't able to use it, what would I do? Well, maybe make my own. So that was the inspiration. It's called Adventuresmith. By the way, I found you can still actually download this. I'll put a link in the video, but it's a great little random generator. But that's what I wanted to make, a little random generator for as you are playing. What did I make? Here is the app. I'll go ahead and show you. I'll show you on the nice camera, but this is the simple RPG app. And it's a lot more simple than the inspiration that I just showed you. All it has currently is a dice roller and a simple prompt generator. But what's really cool is that I made it and it works. So if you see here, you can click on a dice. I'll roll a D100 and I rolled a 10. All right, not a great roll. Let's try one more time. Roll a D100 one more time and got a 7 there. Not too shabby. I can also generate prompts. So I can click on a prompt like liberate the minuscule artifact. So as I was playing, what's a minuscule artifact? Maybe that's a wedding ring, I don't know, something like that. But I made a functioning app, which is really cool, and it serves a similar purpose to the app that I showed. Now, obviously, mine is a lot more bare bones. This is more of a proof of concept, but what was really cool is that in a couple hours of work, I was able to do it. Now, the question is, how? So the process that I used to make this app was twofold. I researched easy coding languages, and actually I found one that was called Codular. It's a website that allows you to do visual coding, so not actually any typing, but you're basically just dragging these blocks around. You can see a little picture here. So instead of typing, you're dragging blocks. For my smooth brain, it was like putting together Legos, and it actually worked out really well. Additionally, I also had ChatGPT write up a guide that helped explain some of the terms and talk to me about how I would make some of these functions like rolling a dice or a prompt generator. And so it made the guide, I monkeyed around with it, and I eventually got it to work and dragging and dropping and asking a lot of follow-up questions, but I did it and it was really cool. And in about, like I said, about 3-ish hours total, I was able to make a functioning app and I learned a lot about coding along the way. And that probably would be the end of the story, but I did what all non-intelligent people do and I shared my joy with Reddit, and let's see what the people had to say. Reddit was slightly less exuberant than I was about this process. The first comment was, oh, beep off with your AI spam beep. And the second comment was, it sounds like ChatGPT made this, not you. The first comment, not gonna lie, hurt my feelings just a little bit, but the second comment actually does bring up a good point in that in this age where AI is such a new tool, how do we interact with it responsibly, and where is the line between creativity and copying? All of those are actually legitimate questions, and so in that sense, I am grateful for the discussion. On the flip side, I was like really hyped because, at least from my perspective, I learned something new. I'm able to do those things now without the guide, so I feel like I actually learned applicable skills, and I made something that I was excited about that was a benefit to me and maybe, you know, secondarily to the community, in that, hey, you can make your own app too. And instead it was the primary, you know, stream of comments that was, yeah, but you used AI, so you're garbage. And so on one hand, I actually think there's some legitimate discussion around that. On the other hand, man, I was really excited to make this, and Hey, you know what? I learned you gotta have thick skin on the internet, and maybe old Templar should be staying off the Reddit, because I'm like 0 for 2 right now with making people happy on Reddit. I'm very interested in the intersection of creativity and AI, and at some point I probably will make a video on it, specifically on how it affects the tabletop role-playing space. That's probably one that I won't be posting on Reddit, just for personal reasons. But here was some of my thoughts in the aftermath of all of this. I guess for me the difference was I was trying to use AI to create a guide and then do the steps myself. I know a lot more about the website now, and I could recreate my steps without the guide, meaning I feel like I learned a few things and I was able to apply the knowledge that the guide gave me. And so from that perspective, I don't see a huge difference between using an AI guide and then finding YouTube tutorials, which when you have a little bit limited time, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to actually be able to have the time to look for the exact resources that you need and then utilize them. But I digress. All right, so what are my final thoughts on all of this? Number one, it was really fun to make an app. It was really fun to put something that I could actually have on my phone and that would benefit me at the table if I were to use it. Additionally, it was kind of interesting proof of concept to see that with a little bit of time, for any conceivable system, you could pretty quickly whip up an app that could benefit you. Rolling dice, rules reminders, making certain versions of things that could be more easily digitized accessible to the players. It's something that is actually really cool. For instance, shameless plug, if I can make an app for my game that could let you roll all the dice that you need, have rules reminders, it could make the player experience a lot more positive with just a little bit of work. So aside from that shameless plug, it's just kind of cool to think that literally you could make it. If I can make it, you can make an app for your game and it could benefit you. I thought that was kind of cool. Number two, I enjoyed learning a little bit of a new skill. I am not a coder by any means, but it was kind of fun to learn and apply some knowledge and make something tangible. And number three, it's just interesting to see this time when it comes to things like artificial intelligence and creativity and the various opinions around that matter. And I also learned that you gotta have thick skin on the internet, because not everyone is going to be your #1 fan. But what do you guys think? Is this a cool app? Would you make an app like this? Am I just an AI degenerate grifter, or is this something that could actually benefit you or somebody that you know? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, happy gaming.